Silenciosas figuras exploran con sus cuerpos los detalles de una arquitectura para reinventarla. Silent figures move through the streets, plazas, passageways, and corners, their bodies exploring the details of the architecture to reinvent it. A society open to a dialogue with whoever lives there. A poetic visual dialogue in which reflection and silence acquire a different value than usual. Landscape Reinvention Society passes by like a flock of birds. So describes Nemcatacoa Teatro of their pop-up stilt performance, Sociedad Reinventores del Paisaje. They call it an intervention. Unexpected and spectacular Landscape Reinvention Society reorders geography, built environment, and architecture of the body to unsettle our ideas of what, how, and for whom places exist. The Colombian performers are, in the words of Kate Monson, amphibious, half in the dirty water of the present, but seeking to move on to a new, unexplored territory. Their dance begins in a public plaza, but breaks the covenants of socio-spatial design when they wander beyond the invisible boundaries of the designated public onto a sidewalk, into traffic, into a shopping mall where they're quickly chased out. Stark black and white body paint dissolves to reveal flesh and sweat, materializing the labor of their journey. Architectural themselves, the performers' bodies bound with aluminum echo the organic and the structural conexión of public space, being within and of the pueblo. Note that in Spanish, pueblo may be translated as referring to either or both people and place. Musicians Hojarasca and Dina tendril the ensemble's Andean roots into the site. As well, the practice of zancos, stilts, migrated from an ancient Oaxaca tradition, and the whisper of the Muisca deity Nemcatacoa, for whom the group is named. Through my research, I categorized 6 key traits of performed public assembly according to Colombian archive scholarship and exhibited in Nemcatacoa's works. They are 1. Ephemeral, as performers circumvent state power by deploying fleeting art. 2. Revueltas, contesting established power, rejecting the colonial message to the pueblo that they are extraños within their own culture. 3. Collective relief from restrictions that colonial social norms place on instinct and desire. 4. The genio del pueblo, as named by Manuel Zapata Olivea, the capacity for both practice tradition and improvisation which diverts from the pure, stimulating creativity and promoting concern for the social welfare of diverse publics. 5. Performers as doteros, what Ernesto Maclatobar views as a spectacular reflection of the city, a reflection of the pueblo not as folk object and artifact but as living representation of the self. And 6. The co-presence of the audience, the pedagogical and participatory, and also the passage of the pueblo from separated to integrated. While I conducted this research in the context of Colombian thought on public space, I noticed a continuity in the ideas in a different pop-up performance. The 2017 Edinburgh Festival Fringe hosted Article 11, a performance ensemble led by Tara Began and Andy Morrow, operating out of Niitsatipi, Tsuut'ina, Stoney, and Métis territory, Mohkinstsis, imperially named Calgary. During the 30 minutes of declaration rematriation, a small plaza engulfed by the stone edifices of the National Museum of Scotland becomes thick with Article 11's inversions. Red, white, and black textile cut through the structural landscape as the unaugmented voices of 2 artists of the Mohawk Nation leverage the towering stone as their amplifiers. The ensemble sang to the skulls of Dimas Duit and her husband, currently held as artifacts in the museum, and extended a loving invitation for passing Scots to employ their national privilege to also call that the remains be returned to Beothuk territory. Rather than rejecting the site outright, both Nemcatacoa and Article 11 create mobile heterotopias by excavating multiple hidden layers within a public space. In doing so, they present an alternate ordering of social terrain. The mobile heterotopia, a temporary zone in which the normative functions of space are simultaneously represented, contested, and inverted by site-specific performance, may serve as a social tool for peeling back colonial norms. The pueblo for Article 11 is culturally, historically, and politically distinct from Nemcatacoa. However, both performances suggest a shared experience of public assembly within the colonial condition. While my research has focused on Colombian material archives on choreographies of space and public assembly, the continuities with performers from Turtle Island present an exciting opportunity for comparative study. In Edinburgh, Article 11's reordering of space presented a conflict of ideas between current norms and new ways of doing that might be imagined from the community reality. Nemcatacoa's use of stilts and structure redefines the function and possibility of public space, suggesting a different value than usual. Both choreographies of assembly support Oliveira's idea that the community continuously fights, consciously or unconsciously, to adapt to changing circumstances. These works concretize Barbara Pance's idea of the mundo ideal, the ideal world in which the assembly of the pueblo is essential so that participatory citizens may consciously build their city. If the landscape reinvention suggested to us by Nemcatacoa and Article 11 present us with alternate views of place and power, of bodily histories and geographies, what then do we, the spectators, do when the ephemeral pueblo inevitably disperses into ghostly traces on brick and concrete and stone, which may again recede into the invisible space of our daily consciousness?